Okay, I think it's day 10. I'm not even sure at this point, but I think it's day 10. And so getting closer to Vlogmas, and I'm getting excited. I've heard from several of my friends. I know for a fact they've confirmed. There's a few that are still not quite confirmed yet, so I don't know if they're gonna come or not, but either way, it's gonna be fun. So, okay, I just kind of expected you. I'm gonna make some coffee in a minute, but what is this? Magic Christmas Spot. Touch to see the future. That sounds very ominous. So let's see. They're just like presenting it. He looks super concerned about this. The rest of them look almost too good to be true. So if I touch the Magic Christmas dot, it's going to show me the future. I'm assuming that means it's going to show me the task for today. Okay, and whoosh. I'm gonna go ahead and have coffee this morning, and then I'm gonna tackle all of these boxes. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. Since it's been overcast the past couple of days, I feel like I was just kind of chasing my tail doing the minimal projects, but now it's nice outside. So I have 4 boxes, all that go outside. So it is time for me to do those. And then that's going to clear up a large portion of my living space. And I think anything else that's in here is going to be where it either needs to go directly up on the walls or it needs to go into the cabin for organizational purposes. So this is going to be a big day. This is going to be a big movement day, and my space is going to be so happy when I get finished with today, because right now I have overwhelmed myself by bringing in way too much, and I've been sorting it over the past couple days as I do projects, but wow, it's been a lot. So Christmas lights, garland, possibly some inflatables if I can have some help. All of this, one way or the other, not going to be here at the end of today. Okay, now that the coffee is complete, it's time for me to move on to my next thing, which happens to be getting started. And I need to go through all of those tubs. One of those tubs is filled with Christmas ornaments, but not like regular size ornaments, like jumbo ornaments. And I usually use them on my front porch. However, last year they started to get kind of bleached out looking. So when we put them up, in my head, I already knew they're going to have a facelift this year. So it's time to get them out. And I have all the different colors that I'm going to be using in my Candy Land, Wonderland area. The name just keeps changing. And I'm going to repaint all of them, and it's going to take a while because I'm going to have to paint them, then rotate them, then paint them, then rotate them. So it's time to put up my house coat and get this party started. Okay, so I went ahead and put myself slightly together. I changed pants into some pants that I don't mind getting spray paint over spray on. Just some cheap Walmart leggings that are a little worse for wear. I'm going to pull my hair up so I don't end up getting paint on it. Floof kind of day. Oh, I love this part of the morning. Every day I see the little rainbow reflections come through my bathroom window. Speaking of bathroom window, I'll have to do an update soon about what's going on in here because some changes are being made. Okay, spray paint is present. Of course, before I go outside, I need to put on my shoes. So I guess I'll do that. And then I have to come inside and start organizing in here at some point. So, time for some shoes. First things first, I'm gonna take these games over to the cabin because I'm going to have some space for them, and then I'll be pulling down the other games later. My family and I, we love games, and so we have lots and lots of them, and so we want to put them in a central place where we can all access them. So if they have guests, they can come get whatever games they want. If I have guests, same thing, and it just makes it easier. Right now, I have the games stored in 3 separate places because we just have too many of them. So I had some that were in storage, that's these. I have some that are actually in my tiny home, and they're in a really high up shelf in my room. And so that's really hard for everybody to get to unless they get on a big step stool, and that gets kind of iffy. And then I have card games that are down here in my little shoe organizer. So instead of having 3 separate places that you have to look for games, just gonna put them all in one place. Okay, while I'm waiting on the ground to finish drying out, I'm going to go ahead and start on the lights that go on the fence. So I have some zip ties, and then I have these strings of lights. So I'll check each one of them, and then I'll put them along the row just below where the candy looking fencing is. So at the top kind of. And so I need to test all of these, and then I'll run them from probably this plug out and then around. I also am probably gonna have to get some more lights from one of the light bins, but this is just me starting out. This is gonna take a lot of lights, but I thought manageable amounts at a time. That way I can get it to completion with each one. And the goal is to just get where the gate is with this set, and then I'll have to go from the other side and the other set of plugs around the other end, and then that's what the gate will actually have lights from. So first things first, check the lights, which I think are in good shape. Looks like everything's working just fine. Before I get started, I decided I would come in and just kind of take inventory of the lights that I have. And since I have so many lights, figure out if I would be better suited doing the green or the white. I think I'm gonna be better off if I do the white lights, because there's so many more in this particular tub without me having to go crazy and look around. So I think I'm gonna do the white instead. I think that'll be fine on this fence because it's going to be up close to the noodles, and then also it's white like candy, so we'll see, but I think this is gonna be a better deal. Okay, so the first one I'm gonna do a little tighter, and then after that I'll just make kind of a little loop that they'll fit in, and I'll run them up at this height right here. I don't need them all to be that tight. I just needed that first one so that it would hold the string in place. Okay, so Dad is towing this thing to use it as one of his Christmas decorations. This is a golf cart that he picked up that he's been tinkering with a little bit. He's used this the past couple of years in his Christmas decorations, but it has to be towed right now because it's still not quite up and running. But this is gonna be so fun. Also, I went ahead and just put out some music. I have this little thing that charges by solar. So it's a really good Bluetooth speaker. So I have some Christmas music going. Okay, I got everything finished. I left a little bit of extra here, and I still need to just kind of secure these a little bit more because I had to double over at the gate so it could actually close. So now that I've done that, I'm gonna finish tying these up, and then this project should be finished. So a couple more zip ties. I don't really need this rubber band, and this should do the trick. Okay, now that I got the lights up, it's time to start on this stuff. The bunny needs to be touched up, so I have the green. And then any of these that look like they need a little love, I'm gonna go ahead and give them a little love. I need to inspect them, see if they have toppers. If they do, I need to paint them. And so some of these probably are on their way out. Some of them are gonna come back to life as kind of like a before and after. And these are like a non-shatter ornament, so this will be fine. So I just have to figure out what colors I want on which ones. I don't know how well this one's gonna work because it's glitter, but I might try it anyway. So that one the top just came off of, so I know I have the top. So I'm just kind of putting them in little groups of colors that I'm gonna be painting. I'll paint all of one side, let it dry, then rotate them, paint them, let them dry. Just keep going until it's finished. Okay, this set's going to be blue. So let's see how this turns out. I'm just gonna kind of hit them from different angles and work my way around, and we'll see. Okay, there's the start of my upcycling of the ornaments. I'm gonna let these dry for a little bit, and while they dry, I'm gonna sort through some more ornaments that I think need to also be repainted. And then once this side dries, I'll be able to flip them over and do the other side and see if I need to continue going over with more coats. But this is gonna be so fun. The nice thing about doing this project this way is the fact that if I decide I wanna change the colors later on or do a different theme later, like not this year, but in future years, I can just repaint them again, and we can just keep painting them and bringing them back to life as long as we have an ability to hang them. I also went ahead and brought out some of the little snowflake stars and some of the other ornaments, and went ahead and did the first coat of those also. Okay, currently my dad is doing the movement along with the help of my mom of the little pond that I mentioned previously that we were gonna move. So after that's finished, I can start working over there. So I can only assume the bunnies will put me up to that tomorrow. But right now, working in the yard still, about to go and put the second coat of paint on the ornaments. In the meantime, I'm hanging some more stuff up. I made these candies last year and I was going to use them at Vlogmas, but it was so windy I couldn't ever use them. So instead, I'm going to use them on the fence here for the Candyland area. So I'm just using these small zip ties and kind of feeding them through the ribbon. And you can see like here, and then that will allow me to attach it. Meanwhile, it looks like they're about to get that out of the way, so yay! Also over lunch, I went ahead and sorted out a whole bunch of garland. So I have garland already pre-selected for that particular house for the rails. And it's already pre-strung and pre-lit. I've checked the lights and everything, so I'll be able to easily put it on the rail area. But I still have to pick out the garland that I'm going to use on this porch. So I'm going to do that in just a minute, but I'm going to finish this part first. Okay, so I was able to do the little candies and they went about halfway around, so that's perfect. I just want them front facing. I'm currently working on the garland and the cats are not sure what to think about this step. So this is going to be potentially one of the weirder ones. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and wrap the posts and then the bottom and then back up the other post. And typically I also put garland across the edge, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that because the cats do jump on that a lot. But I'm also going to put lights up the posts. And again, normally I put them here, so I'm not sure how that's going to work out. Finished up the ornaments. They're just drying on their last coat, and then I'll go spot check to make sure I don't need anything. All in all, this is coming together. Dad's really working hard on his display out there, so that'll be finished today. Sweating just a little bit because it got warmer, so that's good. But with the days much shorter, getting this stuff done has to be done in the time that I have light. So I'm trying really hard to get the porch finished with this particular step. And I may not get everything that's going to be done on the porch done today just because I may lose light, but I'm trying really, really hard. Okay, while I'm working on this one, my mom is actually going to take over this project for a little bit. So a few things. This goes out in the yard. This is actually going to go in the Frosty Follies area. So I'm not ready to position it yet, but as you can see, it needs some love. It got left out last Christmas, and so it's just been weathered this year, and it was already kind of needing a little bit of a touch up. So what we're going to do is have Mom sand this down really good to get all of the paint flakes off so that we can get to a base wood again, and then we're going to be repainting. Okay, it looks Christmas crazy, which is exactly what I wanted. It looks insane. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it's perfect for Christmas overload. My goal was to make this thing glow like National Lampoon's, and I decided that was a really bad idea because, well, I'd probably overload something. So instead, I just went with a variety of different colors and candy looking things, and then it's just going to be a lot. Frosty's looking good though. It's not finished, but Mom is working pretty hard on him, so looks nice. Meanwhile, over here, Dad has the dogs installed. And this is kind of a funny scene because you can see there's a squirrel on top and they're all trying to get to the squirrel. He still has a little bit of work to do over here. He's going to make sure he lights them all up. And then I think he's gonna put like a little spotlight on them too, so you can kind of see the vehicle. He hasn't finished this. He was debating on if he wanted to use this over here or not. So, and currently he is cutting down trees. We never heard from the company that was supposed to come trim the trees, so he decided that he would invest in a very long pole saw, and it has like an extension arm on it so he can get a little bit higher up. So he cut down a lot of the bulk of some of the smaller trees. The big tree, the one that has the super high up branches, we still need to get them to come out, but he's trying to take care of all of the ones that needed trimming in the process. So all in all, this has been a super productive day. And I can see tomorrow is also going to have to be a super productive day as the days are waning before my friends get here. I had a couple more RSVPs, so I'm really excited, but it's just the beginning of the chaos. Okay, it's dark now, so I decided to come outside and check it out, and everything is looking so cute. Cats seem to be adjusting to the new placement pretty well. Everything's looking really nice. Some of the lights do a little bit of a weird thing where they look like they dim, but they don't. It's actually just the way that they show up on camera, which is crazy, but it works. So overall, This is how it looks all lit up with the candy.